everybody, welcome to Waldock Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be what was the most requested video when I asked you guys on Instagram and Facebook the other day, and that was for a homeschool update. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to call this a mid-year check-in because I will be checking in with you guys again at the end of the year, so it just makes sense that we call this mid-year. Even though I don't really think it's mid-year, I think about a month ago would have been mid-year, but we're just going to go with it. We homeschool year-round, it all blurs together. Who really knows what's mid-year, right? Anyway, that being said, let me tell you what we have done up to this point and what we are doing right now in our homeschool. For September, October, and November, we did pretty much everything I said we were going to do in the second grade plans up here. We followed that schedule pretty closely. We did start looping the days instead of doing them on the days because we noticed that we were missing Friday, for instance, a lot if my husband worked late or we had errands to run. So we did start looping those days instead of doing the specific things on the specific days. We just put them in a loop. So we did do that, but we pretty much stuck with everything. We did also change the Waldock Wizards and Wands. Instead of doing a different subject each day, Emily decided she wanted to do them as units, which I knew she was going to decide to do that. So that was an easy switch too. But for the most part, we were able to stick to that. We stuck to that for September, October, and November. We celebrated some serious Halloween school and some fun Thanksgiving. And then we took from Thanksgiving to the first of the year off and celebrated Christmas school. We did do a few Passport to Adventures units during that time because they were Christmas based. And we did some holiday fun around the world with all the different countries and our Universal Yums box. And that was a blast. And then when we came back to school in January, instead of jumping right back in, because we always find that to be a little bit difficult, we decided that we would do the book and the game challenge again this year. So this is the second year that we've done that with you guys. It has been a blast. And all that means is you read a book and you play a game every day. And that was kind of the intentional thing that we did for school. So we did our morning basket and then we just played a book and we played a game and read a book together. And that was our intentional homeschool time. And it was so much fun. And I actually kind of found myself sad as we were moving closer and closer to the end of the month that was going to be something that was ending. I wasn't ready to go back to homeschooling per se because I didn't want to not be able to do that. And I thought, well, this is just kind of silly. And I know that as the years have moved on, we have moved further and further away from traditional homeschooling and closer to relaxed homeschooling, unit study homeschooling, a little unschoolish, if you will. And I thought, well, this is absolutely silly. If you're not wanting to do it, then don't do it. That's the glory of homeschooling. So I sat down with my husband and we went over our goals for the year. And he said, you know, the only thing I would really like to see is like a tiny bit of the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. Not every day, but some days, you know, just enough to know that even though we're getting in a ton of math and reading and games and books, he said, I do want her to have, you know, the practical application of it. So together we stumbled upon the Evan-Moor Daily Fundamentals, and we both decided that that was enough. It pretty much was going to cover all the goals that I had made for her for the year, and it made him happy to see that she was going to be doing the 3 things he had asked. So every day, for the most part every day, she does 1 page. It's, I think, 32 weeks on 5 days a week, but it's language arts, math, and reading. And it's never more than about 10 questions. It covers the same topics in language arts, math, and reading for 5 days straight. So she gets practice, and then the next week it moves on to different topics. And it just slowly in 32 weeks goes through everything that she should know in second grade. Now, this is a little bit basic, so even though she can handle it and it's not a big deal, what I do is on the first day new topics are introduced, I use the Usborne Illustrated Grammar and Punctuation and the Usborne Illustrated Math Dictionaries. And this is kind of where I set up the lesson. So I find the topics that are introduced in the Daily Fundamentals and we go over them using these books as my guide and the visuals for her. We kind of do the very first day together. And then while I'm sitting there, she does the next, you know, days 2 through 5 by herself. We don't necessarily do it in a calendar week for us per se, because we just do the next one the next day. So it may be Tuesday when we start a new week. But that is how we have been doing it. She is on week 9 currently. And so far we have really been liking it. She likes that something she can be done within about 20 minutes. My husband likes that he has like some sort of tiny bit of proof. And honestly, I like that I have that mental check in my head at the end of the day that, you know, we did it. It's a checkbox that I can check off. So each week, language arts, math, and reading has a different topic. So for instance, here's week 9, and week 9 is abbreviations for language arts, subtraction of numbers within 1,000 for math, and comparing and contrasting for reading. So just to give you an example, and if you would like to see more in depth of that, maybe even see us do a lesson, just let me know and I would be happy to do that. So that is pretty much what we have moved to for our basics. That's the base of kind of our bare minimum, that and morning basket. If we get morning basket done and we get that done, then homeschool can be done for the day. We are still doing unit studies. We are using Passport to More Adventures still, Waldock Wizards and Wands, the Who Was units, interest-based units if something comes up that she's really interested in. Dinosaurs was a recent one that she was interested in. So we are still doing unit studies. We love a good unit study. So that is something that we're still incorporating into our homeschool. We are also still incorporating the videos, the live video lessons like from Squilt and Chalk Pastel and No Sweat Nature Study. I really, really enjoy that is something we can either sit down and do together, or it is something that she can sit down with if I need a break from her, or a break because I'm sick, or I just need to be able to work. I also like that it's something that for the most part enriches most unit studies that we're doing. For instance, it's Women's History Month and Squilt is doing women composers, and there was some women history lessons in Chalk Pastel. So that is a great way for me to be able to enrich, you know, something that we're already doing. And we have really been enjoying the extra time that it has been allowing us to do things together as a family, like our poetry tea times and our STEM challenges and our nature walks. We've been able to do more of them. We've been able to do them for longer periods of time. So that's been really, really nice as well. So right now, currently, what's working for us, what we're doing in our homeschool is morning basket, and then we move to table time, and by table time, that could still be on the floor for that matter, but table time just means a pencil in our hand. To do any of the like written kinds of stuff that goes with our unit study, and then the daily fundamentals. And after that, we still do, you know, lunch with educational shows. We're still doing a bedtime basket. We're still doing, you know, poetry tea time and STEM challenges and nature walks and art projects and all of those things together as a family in the afternoons. There was nothing wrong with all of the curriculum we were using before. In fact, we really loved a lot of the things that we were using. It just was time for us to shake things up a little bit. It was time for us to let things go. We may go back to a lot of it next year. We may go back to none of it next year. I'm not sure. At this point, we're enjoying being relaxed and having the extra time to be together as a family. And I'm enjoying having the extra time to read more books and play more games and, you know, just do the things that we weren't getting to do as often as we would have liked before. So that is where we are at mid-year, as we have moved to very relaxed homeschooling, and we are enjoying our units and our morning baskets and just having fun together as a family, and hopefully more field trips soon. But right now we're on quarantine, so no field trips. Let me know in the comments down below how you are doing in your homeschool up to this point.